So you're gearing up for the CAPM exam, right? Probably got flashcards up to your eyeballs, memorizing all those terms. But what if I told you the questions that trip people up the most aren't about the definitions? Nope, they're about the choices. We're going to break down one of the biggest hurdles in project management problem solving right now.
You know, it's super common for people studying for the CAPM to think it's just about finding the right answer to a problem. But there's this hidden layer they totally miss. And honestly, that's where so many points get lost on those tricky scenario questions.
So let me just ask you this. On the exam, what do you think matters more? Having the right final answer or knowing which tool to use to find that answer? Because that little distinction right there, it is absolutely everything.
And that, right there, brings us to the core struggle. We're going to talk about why these scenario questions feel so tough. It's not because you don't know the stuff. It's about being able to make the right call when you're under pressure.
Tell me if any of this sounds familiar. You know the definitions inside and out, but then a scenario question pops up and you just freeze. Or you can't figure out the difference between two tools that sound kind of the same, especially when that clock is ticking down. You've memorized the words, but you have no idea when to actually use them. That's the gap. That's what we're tackling.
So here's the bottom line, okay? The CAPM exam is not a vocabulary quiz. It is a test of your judgment. It wants to see if you can look at a messy, real-world situation and choose the one single most effective technique to handle it.
All right, so how do you get that good judgment? Well, we use this really straightforward framework that basically connects a problem to its perfect tool. Think of it like a playbook. Let's run through a few quick-fire scenarios, just like you'll see on the exam, and you'll see exactly how it works.
Okay, first up, picture this. Your project team has a meeting every single week. But every week, nothing gets decided. Nobody leaves with a clear action item. The meetings just feel like a total waste of time. What's the real fundamental project management problem here?
The problem isn't just bad meetings, it's a lack of effective meetings. See, the solution isn't just to try harder. It's about locking in a clear purpose, setting objectives, and sending out an agenda beforehand. That specific way of thinking is what the exam is testing.
All right, next one. You're the PM. You need some really deep, detailed feedback about a new product feature, but you only want it from a very specific, hand-picked group of users. What's your go-to move?
Boom! You need a focus group. And notice how precise that is. It's not just a general feedback meeting, it's a specific technique designed to get rich insights from a select group. That difference is what gets you the points.
Okay, how about this? You've got a fast-moving development team. They need to sync up every day, but sitting in an hour-long meeting is absolutely crushing their workflow. What's the most efficient format for them?
That is a textbook case for a stand-up meeting. It's built for speed, quick updates, what I did, what I'm doing, and what's in my way. It is the perfect tool for that specific problem. No wasted time.
And one more for now. Your team hits a wall, a big technical problem. You don't need a status update. You need creative solutions, lots of them, and you need them fast. What technique is literally designed to get those ideas flowing?
This is where you use brainstorming. Its entire purpose is to generate a ton of ideas and explore possibilities. See? You wouldn't use a stand-up for this. And you wouldn't use a focus group. It's always, always about picking the right tool for the job.
So what you just saw, that's the heart of the exam coach's method. It's all about building that bridge from just knowing a definition to knowing exactly when and how to put it into action.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Being a great project manager, and let's be real, passing the CAP, isn't about how many tools you know. It's about knowing instinctively which one to grab in any situation.
And that's really what we're all about. You know, anyone can hand you a glossary of terms and tell you to memorize it. Frankly, we think that's kind of missing the whole point.
We train you to actually think like a project manager. We help you build that muscle, that instinct, so you can look at any problem and immediately see the clearest path forward.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. On the CAPM exam, choosing the correct tool is the correct answer. Get that skill down and you are well on your way.
What you saw here was just a little taste of how you can shift from just memorizing stuff to really thinking strategically. If you're ready to apply this way of thinking to every part of the CAPM exam, the full framework is waiting for you inside Exam Coaches.